As we get ready to say goodbye to summer and enjoy the last few weeks of sunshine, both sales activity and price gains have started cooling off and returning to more typically seasonal averages. I'm Adina Dragasanu with Adina YVR Vancouver Real Estate Group and Oakwyn Realty here with your September 2023 market update. Let's jump right into the numbers and take a look at what's happening. The Real Estate Board of Greater Vancouver reported that we had 2,286 sales in the month of August. This is down about 6% relative to July, and it's up over 21% relative to this time last year. Compared to the 10-year sales average, it's down about 13.8%. So what's happening with inventory levels? In the month of August, we had 3,943 homes newly listed for sale on the MLS. This is a decline of 15% relative to July. However, it's up about 18% relative to this time last year, and it's about 5% below the 10-year sales average for the month of August. Looking at total supply, we had 10,082 homes available for sale on the MLS in the month of August. This is down about 2% relative to July. It's almost unchanged relative to this time last year, and it's about 13.5% below the 10-year sales average for the month of August. So what does this mean for prices? As you recall, our leading indicator showing us if prices are on their way up or down is the sales to active listings ratio. And simply, this ratio looks at the number of sales in a given month divided by the total number of active listings left over at the end of that month. When this ratio is below 12%, we're typically in buyer's market territory with prices on their way down. And when this ratio is above 20%, we're typically in seller's market territory with prices on their way up. Anything between 12 to 20% is typically considered balanced market territory. In our market for the month of August, the sales to active listings ratio was 23.9%. So we're still in seller's market territory. By property type, this ratio is 14.2% for detached properties, 30.3% for townhomes and duplexes, and 31.9% for condo apartments. And one trend we're seeing right now is that buyers are very price sensitive. And the highest activity we're seeing is typically in the lower price bands for each neighborhood and property type. For example, let's take a look at Vancouver's west side. In the detached market, the sales to active listings ratio is currently at 13%, putting it in balanced market territory. But if we look at the entry-level price band of $2.5 million to $3 million, the ratio is currently at 31.2%, or a very hot seller's market. Also on the west side, if we look at the attached market, we see that the sales to active listings ratio is currently at 28%, which is indicative of seller's market territory. However, we see this activity is heavily concentrated below 1.25 million. Of the 191 sales in the attached segment on the west side, 136 of those were under 1.25 million. The sales active listings ratio under 1.25 million is currently at 42.7%. And we see a similar trend looking at the east side of Vancouver. For the detached market on the east side of Vancouver, the sales active listings ratio is currently at 19%. But buyer activity is heavily concentrated between 1.5 million to 2.25 million. In this price band, the sales to active listings ratio is currently at 46%. And we see that 84% of sales on the east side detached market fall within this price band. Looking at the attached market on the east side, we see that the sales to active listings ratio is currently at 39%, which again is seller's market territory. But again, this is heavily concentrated under 900,000. Of the 144 sales that happened in August, 110 of these were in the price band between 500 to 900,000. And in this price band, we see that the sales active listings ratio was 51.6%. So let's take a look at where we're at with pricing. The HPI benchmark price for all property types in the month of August was $1,208,400. This represents a marginal decrease of 0.2% relative to July, and it's up 2.5% relative to August last year. By property type, the benchmark price for detached homes is currently $2,018,500. This represents an increase of 0.3% relative to July, and it's an increase of 3.3% relative to August last year. For attached townhomes and duplexes, the HPI benchmark price is $1,103,900. This is a marginal decrease of 0.1% relative to July, and it's an increase of 3.9% relative to August of last year. For condo apartments, the HPI benchmark price is currently $770,000. This again is a marginal decrease of 0.2% relative to July, and it's an increase of 4.4% relative to August of last year. So far coming into September, we've already seen an increase in activity both on the buying side and sellers wanting to list their homes for sale. And with the Bank of Canada announcing that it was not going to increase its rate September 6th, we expect it to be a fairly busy fall market. If you're thinking of making a move and want to know what your property is worth, get in touch. You can book a consultation by clicking the link down below here in my YouTube video, or if you go over to my Instagram, you could click the link in my bio. And to stay up to date with what's happening in the market, be sure to follow me on Instagram at adina.yvr, and you can subscribe here on YouTube. That's it for this month. Have a great rest of September, and I can't wait to see you in October.